Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. In this one, we are taking the Taycan down to our local Porsche centre in Guildford for its first ever service. And nobody really likes a service, do they? But it's something you have to do with cars to maintain the history. And I wanted to share with you the process, what it involves, how much it costs, what they did, and indeed if there was any pain involved. Hopefully it should be a pretty smooth process. Now, as always, if you find this helpful, please do kindly consider a sub. It's very much appreciated. We're over 2.3 million views on the channel now, which is kind of insane really, but a few more subs would always be appreciated. It is one click, and as always, your support is wonderful, so really do appreciate that. But with an EV like this, the service interval is kind of a mind-blowing 2 years. I've never owned a car with a 2-year service interval. It's crazy. With an EV, there's just simply less to worry about, less moving parts. You've got batteries, you've got motors, unlike a combustion car, which is inherently much more complex. You've got more systems to think about, more moving parts in the engine, oil pumps, spark plugs, oil changes, fuel filters, all kinds of gubbins. It just needs looking after. So the service interval for a combustion car is generally a lot less. In some, it's quite painful. My Evo 6 was every 4,500 miles or 6 months. I think a Yaris GR is 6,500. And a lot of them now have 10,000 mile service intervals, which is pretty decent long life service intervals. Although I do like to change the oil as much as possible. But in this video, we're going to drop it off, collect the loan car. I'm advised the process should take 2 days. 2 days, you think, for a service? Right, to be clear, that's not just the service. This car is also going in, surprise, surprise, Taycan, it's going in for some recall work as well. So we spoke about this in the last video. The brake hoses are going to be done, and also it's going in for a thermal management system recall as well. So there's work to be done on that. So 2 days versus a service, which I think can be turned around in a morning. And after that's done, we'll follow up with the costs, let you know how it went, what was done, if there was any surprises, and hopefully help you out if you're looking at this as well. Right, all done, and wow, that was quick. We were expecting 2 days, but I had a call back from Porsche Guildford by 3 p.m. of the same day saying your car is ready. I'm thinking, surely that's too quick. Has it all been done? But yes, it has, and we'll be having a look at that in a bit. But I have to say, fair play to Porsche Guildford, right? All of this in the midst of their site being completely redeveloped. They're having a bit of a nightmare at the moment in terms of lack of space, having to shuffle cars around, and I do have to say, the feedback I have for Porsche Guildford is fantastic. They've been nothing but brilliant with me in this car, looked after very well, so fair play to Porsche Guildford, well done. But I wanted to call out as well one other thing. The loan car was a Taycan Turbo ST version, lovely car, the one in the thumbnail, and it had the Burmester sound system. And wow, this is a Bose sound system, night and day. The audio quality of that system is fantastic. Everything sounds brilliant through that. You've got extra tweeters up here, and it's really punchy, really crisp, really tight. Awesome system. If you are looking for a used Taycan of any size, shape or form, make sure you get one with that option ticked, because I reckon that is a real winner. I think it was like a 4K option when new. So if you're getting that on a used car, it's already great value. It's going to represent serious bang for bucks. I just wanted to call that out. Burmester used, you're laughing. That is a seriously good sound system compared to this, the Bose, which just sounds a bit flat and a bit muddy, if I'm honest. But anyway, what did they do? So it went in for the service, 2-year service. It went in also for ARB0, the brake recall, and we had a new one that was called out as well, which is this campaign WPS9 for the thermal management control unit, which is completely a new one for me. I hadn't heard of that one, but it needed sorting out. Thermal management, I'm guessing management of the battery temperature, the ability to control how warm or how much cooling it needs depending on the ambient temperature or how much it's being used. So that was done as well. And then of course the service, as we mentioned, every 20k miles or every 2 years. All went very well. And looking through here at everything that was done, if I read out the list of the parts that were inspected first. So they run through all of these steps: brake fluid, airbag, aircon ducts, air filter. Step 2, external inspection. Has your car fallen apart, basically, I think is what this is all about. All visual, I think, just looking at it, seeing if it's all working okay. Step 3, tyre check. That's where I fell over a little bit. I knew that, right? So 4mm on most of the tyres. One of them has a bulge in it still, a bit naughty, you need to get that fixed, yes. But still well within the legal limits, but Porsche recommend changing them now, so we'll do that. One bit I wanted to call out is the Step 4 under bonnets, so visible high voltage component security check. I'm not sure exactly what that entails. They supply you with a video, as they do these days. You can look through, and they tell you what needs doing whilst it's in for the service. You can acknowledge any bits that you want doing all automatically. It's a very nice, very clean system. But if I look at this, they do a visual inspection of the under tray and the battery protection under tray as well, and see if there's any damage there. I'm not sure if they test the battery modules themselves. This is something I'm not aware of. So if there is any potential battery issues with cells, then I'm not sure if that's done on the service. I would imagine not, because I think to look at individual cells, you have to drop the whole unit out and start looking at the battery modules. I think there's 30 or so modules in the Taycan. You have to look at them all individually. And before we get to the rest of this, I just wanted to call out as well, please do sub if you find this useful. I don't bang on about subs in my videos, but speaking to other YouTubers, you kind of need to get people to sub. So if you have found this helpful, please do consider a sub. One click, bang, done. Massively appreciated. Thank you. So back to the battery, all good there, and I haven't had anything pop up, and it seems to be, the range seems to be pretty good. It seems to be holding charge well, so I don't think there are any underlying issues with the high voltage battery. Thank goodness. And then an internal check. Is the car all still working internally? And it is. Right, so let's look at the price breakdown on the invoice itself. And starting with the top part here, the most expensive component was the inspection service, which includes also everything we've run through, and then the window cleaner, that's the screen wash, and the dust and pollen filter. That came into 340 and 92 pence. Additional work that needs carried out every 2 years is brake fluid change. This part was £173.19. What I should have done really is push them and said, ARB0, that brake recall, does that also include a brake fluid change? Because if it does, I kind of paid for something that wasn't necessary because they were doing the hoses when the car was in. And whilst we're on this, I had a look, and yes, we do have new hoses installed. If you saw my previous video, we looked at the hoses there. On this video, the hoses have been changed, and there is a deeper collar, a longer standoff for that hose to come out of that strut. And for me, that looks like it is a better design, and it means we called it out correctly on the last video in terms of the bit that looked a bit questionable. So I guess kudos to me, right? Huh? Got it sometimes. Really good service. Then wash and vacuum, all that good stuff. All in, it came to £616 for the service work to be done. £616.93 to be specific, which I think, look, it's not bad, is it? It really does represent good value, I think, because it's once every 2 years. So every year, you're looking at just over £300 a year to keep one of these things serviced. A car that is 130, 150k new. It's not bad, is it? It really isn't bad, considering what you might be spending on combustion cars and how often you need to get those serviced. So, hell, you know, we've got to look at all the disadvantages of owning an EV, which is massive depreciation, etc. But you know, the running costs really are phenomenally good. That is definitely one plus point of these cars. But that's it. I wanted to share this with you. I hope it helped. I hope you found it useful. That's it for this one. Do stay safe, stay well. See you on the next one, and bye for now.